2009 Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different band, different artist, and we listen to all of their records and we rank them from worst to best. We give our biggest banger stinker from each of them, and we try to have a good time doing it. We're in prog season right now, baby, but we're only doing a couple episodes of prog bands. But yeah, my name is Tyler. Way out there, hundreds of miles away, is Jeff. While you're listening, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Give us 5 stars if you're watching on the YouTube. You smash that subscribe button, dude. That's what the kids say. And this week, what are we doing, Jeff? What band are we doing?
We're doing the Mars Volta.
The Mars Volta, one of my favorite bands. So we're doing their 9 records plus their EP, Tremulant. That's what we're going to be ranking, so 10 in total. And like I said, we're going to go from worst to best. And normally we start with the 6 degrees of Tom DeLonge, where we connect the band of the week to Tom DeLonge. But it's too easy. It's way too easy. You know, Travis Barker played with Omar and Cedric.
I was going to say, sometimes we do say, like, oh, it's way too easy, but then we don't say how it's easy. We should start saying how it's easy.
Well, I just did.
I know you just did. That's why, but for future references.
Okay, understood.
Butt about it. You can be fucking butt about it.
Understood. So there you go. And normally at the end, we do give our top 10 favorite songs from the band, but with the Mars Volta, it's just too difficult. We just couldn't do it because the band is just too good.
Some of these songs are like beyond bangers, but sometimes it's only because they're set up and they're followed by like a banger that sets up that middle part to be the beyond banger.
And then also, how are you going to put the 32-minute Cassandra Gemini in your top 10?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you get 32-minute that and then a 2.5-minute Wax Simulcara. You know, It just doesn't. It would be a very weird top 10. Not to say that those would be in my top 10, but those are just examples. So anyway, let's get into this. Worst Mars Volta record. What do you got? And we'll see if we got it on vinyl too. So what do you got?
Don't you have all these on vinyl?
We'll see.
I think you have all these on the vinyl, so that's okay. Lucro Sucio, Los Ojos del Vacío, their latest record, 2025. I'm sorry, this is boring.
I thought you'd like this a lot more.
This is a boring record. There is a lot of Latin flavor here. They went all out with like the jazz elements, bringing in some funk, a lot of Latin stuff, but it's just fucking boring, man. I say boring in the sense that it's still more interesting than a lot of the records that we listened to in 2025. So
yes,
in comparison to what other filth was released in 2025, this is a pretty damn good record. But over the course of the Volta career, I just think this is boring. And I will use Safe more often when I get to the other records. But this is, Safe and boring. The best song in Lazen de las Tenien Blas.
You speak decent Spanish. You know how to say that. You know how to say it.
Oh, it's so good. That's even better though. Yeah, that was the word. That was my favorite song. This one just felt like it was the most like Cedric vocal driven track. Had a killer Latin groove, some fucking amazing sax parts. Also, this record too is very Cedric heavy. There's a lot of Cedric just trying to sing, and like I don't mind his singing sometimes, but when he tries to sing, it's just like, you're not a good singer, dude. You're just unique and annoying in the endearing sense. My least favorite song was "Voice in My Knives." Even though I thought this groove was fucking deep, it was just a little too slow for my liking. That's it. That's it.
So my number 10 is Octahedron, their 5th record from 2009. I mean, a lot of these, they're interchangeable. So yeah, Octahedron is my number 10. Starting here, I have the rest on vinyl.
You have everything.
I have everything. Yeah, except for Scab Dates. I don't have the live record Scab Dates. I don't.
So they have
that,
10 records,
or 9 records and an EP.
Yeah. Well, is the acoustic one an EP or is it a record?
Well, okay, I'm sorry. They have it's considered a record. It's not considered
they have
an EP.
10 records. So you could have said I have all the records. But you said I have this we added the rest.
We added Tremulant to this.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And so technically they have 9 records plus Tremulant, and then the live record Scab Dates, the live EP, which I have that on vinyl, and then I have Landscape Tantrums as well on vinyl, which is like the demos of Deloused. So anyway, Octahedron.
Tantrum.
I feel like it. fifth record, '09. This is the last with Thomas Pridgen on drums. This is their acoustic record, coming off of the chaos that was the Bedlam and Goliath. This came out only just a bit over a year after Bedlam did, and everybody within the Comatorium, which was the online forum at the time, which is now RIP, it's gone. Back then, when it was just going crazy, people were expecting another Bedlam. They were expecting another crazy fucking record, and then you get this, and I remember everybody just this massive disappointment. And honestly, this record has grown on me a lot. I think this is a solid record. It's a lot. I have to put it somewhere. Get the fuck. But I still love it. The Mars Volta are one of my favorite bands. They're one of my favorite bands ever.
Funny.
Like top 5 for sure. Top 3 on a good day. I just fucking love the Mars Volta. So anyway, Octahedron is just this weird kind of like half the songs are acoustic songs. There's a couple like bigger heavy hitters like Cotopaxi and Desperate Graves, which are my 2 bangers. But I don't know. It's just this is a wild one. Also, the last one with Ike, even though Ike didn't play on this record, he was credited as a member. And yeah, it's just quieter jams and all that, and still it's not terrible. Whatever. I went to this tour as well. I did see them at Soma in San Diego on this tour. Stinker, Luciforms, that's my number 10. Octahedron. We have a long way to go. I'm going to try to be more concise. Good. So what do you got for number 9?
Good. Yeah, Octahedron. This thing gets no love from anybody ever. Mm-hmm. Like every list that's compiled that's like Mars Volta records ranked, this is like always last. And it's rightfully so. This is not a bad record, but yeah, you're right. This is their acoustic record, and they even go as far to say like just so you know, this is our version of an acoustic. Shut the fuck up, dude. Fuck out of here. I guess this is something that Omar had been working on alongside Bedlam, but ditched it because Bedlam was Bedlam in the recording process, and then came back to it later on. And it definitely feels that way. It's very subdued, but it always just feels like we're missing just something to push us forward, to push us into like great record territory. And so like Desperate Graves, that's my least favorite song because this doesn't fit this record. This is an acoustic Mars Volta subdued record. This is not that, right? Like this should have been on.
Neither does Cotopaxi.
But like, I just thought this was the better of the 2 songs. But it doesn't fit. Copernicus was my banger. Started acoustic, ended up somewhere different. It was cool. But this record's just, man, to say it's kind of dumb. It's not bad. It's not safe because I think it is kind of adventurous that they did this. But it's just kind of dumb. Like these aren't very good songs.
Mm-hmm. Also, after the bombastic drumming of Thomas Pridgen on Bedlam, you throw this record in here, and he's I would say kind of barely on this record because had you thrown Pridgen on some of these songs, it just wouldn't make fucking sense. He has no control at the time. Dude was like 24 or 25 years old. The guy had no fucking control. He was out of his fucking mind when he played the drums. Still kind of is. Like Les Claypool said it best. Like when he was tried out for Primus last year, Les Claypool said it's like riding a fucking tiger, jamming with Thomas Pridgen. And this is last year, 2025. So
yeah, like him and Hoffer, and then like maybe 1 or 2 were the only ones that made Les go like, "What the fuck? What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah, and he's like, Les Claypool was like, "I would love to jam with Pridgen outside of this. Like, it would be so much fun."
But we can't
ride
a
fucking
together.
tiger. Yeah, there's no way we could jam a Primus song or play a Primus song because Pridgen, yeah, he's too out of control. But anyway, all right. So Octahedron is your number 9. My number 9 is Que Dios te maldiga mi corazón, which means may God curse you my heart. That's what it translates to English, according to Wikipedia. So this is their 8th record from 2023. This is the re-recorded version of their self-titled record that came out the year prior, and they've stripped most of the electronics on here. It still has all the Latin influence and flavor and styles, and the percussion has just been, it's like through the roof on here. It's all percussive. Most of it's percussive. A shit ton of acoustic guitars. This is their acoustic version of it, like I said, and of the self-titled. And yeah, it's cool. It's stripped down as fuck, and I only when I listened to it on Spotify when it came out. I bought it on vinyl, and I listened to it once on vinyl when I got it, and I listened to it twice this week, once on vinyl and once on Spotify. And yeah, dude, this record's solid. It's really, really good. It's another one that's just I know it's gonna grow on me as I go on, but it's just too soon. I haven't given it enough of a chance. But it's solid. In the end, it's the same songs you hear from the self-titled record. Literally the same songs, just reimagined. So, Banger is the title track. Very salsa-y. If I understand what salsa is, that's what it sounds like to me. It has a very salsa feel to it. And it just grooves, man. It fucking grooves so nice. Stinker, the requisition. It's cool. It's the last track. But it's just like, man, we're like 15 tracks deep. I'm good. I'm just good to kind of quit from here. So that's my number 9, Que Dios. So what do you got for number 8?
Number 8, the Mars Voltas. 7th record, 22. And again, take these with a grain of salt. These are still good records. These are still better records than most people are putting out in 2022. I think it's actually a solid record. And I don't mind them turning it down for a record or two. And for these guys, like writing short, concise songs is just as hard for them as writing long compositions are for other musicians, right? Like, and it's weird because when Gizzard does something like this, when Gizzard does a pop record, or when Gizzard does a fucking, if they do a salsa record, I'm like, oh my God, did you hear Gizzard's fucking salsa record? It's fucking unreal. But the same kind of treatment isn't given to the Mars Volta the way Gizzard is, and I think that's kind of weird. This is an incredible pop record. Like, if we're talking pop record in the realm of the Mars Volta lore, there's no excess here.
Shit.
They trimmed all the fucking fat off of this as much as humanly possible, and they put out just a clean, like 30, 35-minute record that has strong melodies on every single song, that is fun to listen to. And I like that every single song also reminds you that this is still the Mars Volta, like Vigil. Arguably, like, this is the most radio-friendly track that they've ever done. And this could be on like basic cable TV show in the background, right? Like on Scrubs or some shit.
That
But
was your
also
banger, Vigil?
No, this is just proving the point that every song on here reminds you of the Mars Volta, because it's true to their sound. The outro with the drum roll here is a cool fucking nod. I'm not saying I love this song, whatever. I'm just surprised how catchy Papa was. But ultimately, there isn't a song here that I'm blown away by. It's a record to listen to while you're kind of like chilling and relaxing, not when you want to listen to something that's gonna get your blood pumping or get you fired up, or even just get you like, damn, that was fucking really good. This is just like, man, that was cool. That's fine. But like a good, that was cool. That was fine. The Requisition, my least favorite, and then Cerulean was my banger, because that had it all, dude. That had a killer groove, that ethereal aesthetics, that had catchy melodies. That was a perfect fucking song.
Very good. I'm glad you enjoyed the self-titled. So we're not at vinyl territory for you yet, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. So, vinyl territory for me, man. I'm still going here. So I just saw your text. So my number 8, sorry. Number 8 is Nocturnicate, 6th record from 2012. This is the last before the breakup. This is the only record to feature D'Antoni Parks on drums, and John Frusciante. This is the first record to not have John Frusciante play guitar on it or have anything to do with the record. And this is a weird one because this is the biggest break between records at this point. There was Omar and Cedric were fighting behind the scenes. They weren't getting along for various reasons. One of them, Scientology, because Cedric became a Scientologist, and that was one reason. Burnout was another one. Cedric wanted more time to do the record, and Omar just likes to. At the time, he was like, "Let's go. Let's fucking make a record every 3 months," and they weren't gelling, and so they made this record, and it's a weird one. It's more synth and drum driven, and if you don't know D'Antoni Parks, the guy's a fucking human metronome. Like, he's the most robotic drummer I've ever heard in my entire life. But I mean that in an extremely positive way. I've never heard anybody drum like D'Antoni Parks. He's so unique and so just different
like a machine.
from anybody.
It's
He's
like a
literally
fucking
like a
machine.
fucking machine. and you watch him play, and you think like when you listen to the record, you're like, there's no way this guy could play this shit live, dude. He does it and better than on the record. It's incredible. The production is very loud, just a little blown out for me, but the record's still good. There's some incredible songs, some throwbacks to At the Drive-In. I mean, the Malkin Jewel, that's my banger. That one, it's the most At the Drive-In they've done probably since Deloused. Maybe not even Deloused. It's just a crazy kind of heavier song. The way that Cedric is also singing the vocals or projecting the vocals. And then Lapachka, I love that one too. D'Antoni's playing on those hi-hats. It sounds like a fucking machine. Like it sounds like a computer. Like they just threw it into Pro Tools and they just chopped it up. But this guy's fucking playing that. He's insane. He's insane. Empty Vestals make the loudest sounds. That's my stinker, but it's still a good song. It's just the most abrasive sounding song. It's just fucking loud for no reason. But also, on one other thing about this record, when it came out, the build up to this record on the Comatorium, because we're going to talk about the Comatorium a lot. The fan forum, it's no longer around. It was blowing up at the time because everybody couldn't wait to hear D'Antoni play on a record because he had played with the band live back in 2006 after John Theodore left, and they were like, we can't wait to get a record from him. But everybody's so excited, everybody's talking about it. At the time, they were signed to Sargent House Records, owned by this lady called Kathy Pello, and she used to get really drunk and drunk tweet. Like every weekend, she would drunk tweet. Just behind the scenes shit about Omar and Cedric and the Mars Volta and how the record's going and just shit. And then she would delete all the tweets by the end of the weekend or by the next day. So she was always drunk tweeting. And then of course, Omar and Cedric had a falling out with Sargent House, and it was just like they did with Clouds Hill, which we'll get into. But yeah, so it was just a really fun time on the Coma at the time. And I'm being redundant, but that's fine. I don't know. This record just has a lot of nostalgia too. And there's a lot of fun stuff behind it for the fans. So I don't know. Nocturnicate, it's killer. Got it on vinyl. Got my box set right here. You can see my Mars Volta box set. My Mars Volta box set right there.
That's something. That's a box set, dude.
Wild. So anyway, number 8, Nocturnicate. What do you got for number 7? Go.
Nocturnicate. That's my number 7. Yeah, you're right. I mean, from what I read, and the build up to this was huge. And so then, like, what do they do to help this? Is they get back together with At the Drive-In. So
they pretty much broke up after the album came out. Like they didn't do a proper tour for Nocturnicate.
So like
they broke up.
This record had no fucking chance whatsoever because At the Drive-In announced they announced in like 2009 they were talking about it and officially got back together 2010 or 11 and then started putting together shows 2012 and this comes out. Don't tour for this. This thing had no fucking chance. And that's not to say like this is a diamond in the rough here. It's not some gem that we have not unearthed until now. It's fine. It's at a time when Mark and Tom were getting frustrated with each other. This took a long time to make. And honestly, the parts that are frantic and choppy, they just don't sound as smooth as they normally are. And Mars Volta can do frantic and choppy sounds, but like their blends, their transitions, everything about their prog stuff sounds great. This sounds like it's fractured. This sounds like it's fractured in a non-endearing way. There's a lot of synth in this record at the expense of some iconic Omar guitar parts. And I really think that they had this grand idea and wanted to explore a lot of different things, but just ultimately kept it safe again and kept it safe in a way that was like octahedron, just kind of dumb. Like, this is stupid. I do think this one got better with time, even though I ranked this low last time we did this. I enjoyed it more this time around. I still don't think I'm at violent territory, but I did enjoy this more. I did enjoy this more this time around. But I think that's because of D'Antoni Parks. Like, his drumming. Yeah, your killer drummer talked about that. But dude keeps it simple. Like, he keeps it simple throughout this entire fucking record. Throws in a lot of jazzy beats to complement, like, kind of the dumbed down structure of the songs. Like, he's insane. He's killer. Yeah. Mock and Jewel, dude, by far the best song on this fucking record. Drippy, drippy verb. Creepy, like, whisper singing. Like, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. It reminded me of, like, something that would have been, like, Peaky Blinders. They're in the bar, right? And, like, in the background, you would have heard this shit. That's what it reminded me of. It was cool.
That's good.
The Whip
weird.
Hand, that was my least favorite, and only because
Whip
I was
Hand
like,
was
damn.
great.
Only because I thought, like, damn, dude, this is a punk song. Like, I know you guys want to do another punk song, just do it. Like, why hold yourself back? Because that's what the DNA here is, a punk song.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Like, oh, I don't know, whatever. Not Tourniquet, not Violent Territory, but probably like a 1.8 here.
Okay, we're getting and so we have a 3-point rating system. So when Jeff says 1.8, 3 is a perfect album, 2 is a good album you're going to continue to listen to, 1 is a bad album, but give it a shot, and 0 is the worst thing you've ever heard. So there you go. So everything here, I mean, everything for me is at least a 2. At least a 2.
Yeah, Nocturnic is not a 2 for me. But even like Lucro Sucio, I think that's still 1.7.
Okay.
It's still a good
I
record,
know.
You know what I
I know.
mean?
It's still great, yeah. We're really just kind of splitting hairs here. But, okay, so my number 7 is Lucro Sucio, Los Ojos del Vacío. Means filthy lucre, the eyes of the void. Did I say that right in Spanish? I feel like I said it right. I'm actually kind of impressed with myself because I'm the most gringo motherfucker in the world.
Some of the stuff that they use is very. He always says he speaks Spanglish, but he speaks way more Spanish than he lets on.
Yeah. That's that. But then it's like sometimes you'll go on to Reddit or the old Coma, and then like, yeah, Spanish is fucking garbage. It's trash. Blah. He doesn't know what the fuck you're saying.
That's
Like,
because he's
just
born in America and he speaks
speaking
Spanglish, and he's shitty at spelling Spanish words, and so he spells them the way you would phonetically spell it, possibly in English.
And his dad was a professor at like in El Paso at the college in El Paso in Chicano studies, by the way too. So Lucro Sucio, 9th record, came out last year, 2025. This is a weird one. It's their most electronic based record. I think this is an album that should only be listened to front to back. I don't think there are individual songs. I think it was created as one giant song to be listened to front to back. That's it. I mean, it's separated into like 16 different tracks. All of them are like 2 minutes long. It's like, come on. What's the point? There, like outside of like the Iron Rose and a couple other songs, you know, those songs have like hooks, like pop hooks, pop melodies. But otherwise, the rest of the record is just like, it's very ethereal, very dreamy, and not in a bad way. I mean this all in a very positive way. But it's probably their most unique record outside of Nocturniquet. This and Nocturniquet are they're big outlier records. And it's good. And once again, this is one that's grown on me as I've listened to it, because I've listened to it several times on Spotify and shit like that, and a few times on vinyl. And yeah, it gets better for me. This is also the first record to feature Philo on drums and Josh Moreau on bass. And Josh Moreau, he was touring with the band for a while when Ava Gardner couldn't play with the band, and Philo's been playing with them since the self-titled record came out. But so that's cool. We get to hear Philo play drums. Philo, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but yeah, so that's rad. And some weird things about this record I noticed. So there was no press at all for this record. 0 press. They went and toured. They opened up for the Deftones, and they only played this record in its entirety. That was it, like a short and sweet 45-minute set.
Did they play this record in its entirety? Like, people were expecting like a Mars Volta set, and like,
yes.
Oh, now we're actually gonna play our new record.
We're gonna play the new record that's not even out yet. The record wasn't even out yet, but the record did leak 2.5 months before it came out, and then you all of a sudden, as the release date gets closer, you realize, oh, they've had a giant falling out with Clouds Hill. Because this is the last record to come out on Clouds Hill Records. They had a huge falling out with that record label and the owner, Johan. And for whatever reason, who knows, because Omar and Cedric are, you know, they fight with everybody. So yeah, there was this huge falling out, no press, no real promo for this at all. And then also there was this weird story that somebody posted on Reddit that they were a DoorDash driver, and while Mars Volta were on tour, he dropped off food at the hotel that the band was staying at, and Cedric came out to get his food from the DoorDash driver, and he gave the guy a CD of the new album that had already leaked, but he gave the CD a CD of the new album to the guy, and he's like, "Here's our new record. If you know us, here, whatever, blah blah blah," and they gave it to the guy, and it's just kind of like a weird lore to add to the whole story of this record. But it's just
such a weird thing to do to somebody.
I know.
Like if that person does not give a shit about like this genre of music or even rock music, right? They, whatever. That's such a weird. If you know who we are, like I don't know. You're weirdo,
It's really
bro.
bizarre.
It's
It's
really,
really, if it's true, it's really fucking weird. But yeah. Anyway, this is just an unusual record within their whole discography that, honestly, I feel like will be forgotten about because there was just nothing. There was no press for it. Literally no press for it.
You don't think it's just like dumb? Like it doesn't need to exist? Like,
I mean, I wouldn't be upset
here?
if it didn't exist. I really wouldn't be upset if it didn't exist, but I still think it's a solid record. I really, really do. So, Luke Rosusio, my number 7. What do you got for number 6?
Did that make your top 5 of the year in 25?
No, it did not. It was honorable mention, but it didn't break my top 5.
Okay. Number 5 for me. No, we're on number 6. Number 6 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Not number 5. Yeah, number 6. Right? 6 or
Number
5?
6.
Que Dios de maldiga mi corazón. 8th record,
There you go.
23. This is the acoustic rendition of their regular album. And yeah, this is so much fucking better, dude. These are darker tones overall. These run deeper, like especially in the percussion department. This is like Mexican beatnik shit. That's what this is. It's so fucking good. The only reason why this isn't in my top 5 or 1 or 2 or whatever is just because like it's going against giants. You know what I mean? But like we're already at like a 2.25 now. Like, this is something. I think I even texted you immediately. I was like, "Do you have this on vinyls?"
You
And
did,
then, like,
yeah. You did text me.
like, oh my god, this is like it's still really cheap, and I like holy shit. I don't know why I didn't like it at the time when it came out, or I just didn't care about it, or didn't listen to it. I don't remember. But yeah, I like this a lot. I think these songs translated so fucking well to this acoustic format. And when I talk acoustic, this isn't like octahedron acoustic. This is like actual stripped down, more acoustic. I think this is as acoustic as I would want this to be, because you still need a lot of percussion to make this flow nicely.
To have that
anyway,
feel, yeah.
To have the feel, yeah. Vigil, I talked about how great that one was on the regular one. I think this is the weakest one here because, of course, like Cedric tries so fucking hard to sing and put on a show and do his things. Like, dude, that's not what this record is, but whatever. Vigil's whatever. Flesh Burns from Flashbacks. That was my favorite. Very percussive. The Spanish guitar with like the Spanish percussive elements made for just an absolute killer song. And Cedric doesn't always just sing like groove wise, right? Or like melodic. He sings just to the groove. Sometimes he'll just like scat and just say shit and just like
And they'll put lyrics in later.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
And that's what it seems like here. He was just like grooving with the song, just opening his mouth, and it was cool. And it sounded very. I know you hate this word, but it sounded very organic. It sounded very just.
I hate the word. What?
Yeah, you hate the word organic. When
I mean,
people
I
say,
don't
like
like it.
Organic.
I don't like it, but you hate it way more than I do.
Organic?
Yes, you hate that. You hate that
Food,
way more than
food
I do.
wise, yes. Everything else, I'm indifferent.
You're not. Oh, shut the fuck up.
But
Get
food
the fuck outta
organic,
here.
yeah. That's stupid. You don't actually know where that food's coming from, bro.
And I agree. Yeah, food organic is all a giant fucking racket.
Unless you're buying from like a farmer's market where you're meeting the farmer. But even then,
Yeah,
you think the guy's not using pesticides?
That's true. It's true.
Okay.
How can I buy an organic loaf of bread and it lasts 3 months without molding? Come on, that's organic. Get the fuck out of here.
I grow tomatoes out here in our fucking garden. And I pluck that bitch, and it's like 2 days later, it's like it disappeared entirely. What the fuck? Yeah, no.
Oh shit. All right, so that's your number 6.
That's my number 6.
The self-titled
6 for days.
Which we did do this record on the podcast when it like maybe 3 weeks after it came out back in 2022. So if you guys want to go listen to that episode. We break it down, the lyrics and all that stuff. It was a fun episode, especially considering it was so new.
That's one I have zero recollection of.
I actually forgot we did it until today.
I forgot we did it until just now.
Because I went and looked back and I was thinking, what albums from this band have we done? And we did in 22 we did the self-titled, we did Deloused with friend of the pod Skip in 21, And then in 2019, we did Bedlam and Goliath, but that's a lost episode that people can't listen to anymore. So we could go back and do Bedlam at some time.
Or
it's no longer available. And definitely Amputexture, because that we'll get there. All right, so my number 6 is the self-titled Mars Volta, Mars Volta. So 22, 7th record. This is their return. You know, after doing At the Drive-In for the last 6-7 years at that point, Anti-Mask as well. They come out with this record. They did it in secret. They didn't announce that they were back together. They wrote and recorded it, and they did it in a weird way. So and for good reason. What ended up happening was Omar came to LA because he doesn't live here in LA. He came to LA, rented a house for 10 days. Him and Cedric went to the house, and they recorded most of the record at this house. And they were very careful when it came to mixes and overdubs. They didn't send anything over the internet, nothing over email. They would only mail like CDRs and shit to each other. Maybe not CDRs, but whatever was on a CD, they would mail it, like USPS mail it to each other, because at the time, Cedric was in a lot of hot water with Scientology. Being a former ex-Scientologist, he was being harassed. Him and his wife and kids were being harassed a lot. Scientologists were killing their dogs, poisoning their dogs and shit. Allegedly. And just allegedly, yes. But I mean, I wouldn't be fucking surprised. Especially after all the Danny Masterson shit that came out afterwards. It's like, yeah.
I'm in no way a Scientologist, like not a supporter, sympathizer.
Yeah.
But weirdos.
But yeah, so they were all. I mean, Cedric, they were all very paranoid about you know, Scientologists hacking into the emails and all that shit. So they did it very, very off the grid per se, and nobody knew about it until like 2 months before they announced we've linked up with Cloud Seal. We're going to release this giant Mars Volta box set. We have a new record coming out, and it was just this massive thing. They did this like giant promotion for the record. Remember the black box in downtown LA. Remember that giant black box that appeared in downtown LA, and they're like, you could hear one song from the new record. You just got to line up at this particular time, and you could go into the box, like 2 of you at a time can go into this box in downtown LA and listen to the new song. And people like lined up for like 2 days prior.
With the
and they were like, yeah. And people were like, they would go in. There's no AC. It's like the middle of summer in LA, so it's 100 degrees out, and like it's fucking sweaty. It smells in there. It's hot as shit in this box. And then, yeah, so
cool.
There was this whole like weird, crazy promotion for the record. And I do remember that specifically. But the record itself, it's very subdued, like you mentioned. This is their poppiest record they put out up to this point, or even till now. This is the poppiest record they've ever done. Shorter songs. No, I think there's 2 songs that go over 4 minutes. They've ditched all the prog stuff. And it's more pop electronic based. Yeah, there's a lot of guitar here and all that and percussive stuff, but it's just more about melody and just writing straightforward songs. And I think it's great. I think there's some incredible songs in here. I truly love this album. I think it's fantastic. Also, Ava Gardner comes back on bass. She was the original bass player for the Mars Volta, played on Tremulant and the early demos. She's back for this record. She toured with them on this touring cycle, which I saw them on. I saw them a couple times at this point in time. And yeah, this Mars Volta's Mars Volta record, I think it's fantastic. I think it's underrated, very, very underrated. Just solid pop rock record. So banger, Vigil. I do love Vigil. I think that's like the poppiest melody they've ever had. Yeah. Busy ass drum fills, great feel to it. But I also love Graveyard Love, just this killer electronica song. And then if I had to pick a stinker, it'd be Palm Full of Crux. Just small, a slower, almost like love kind of song melody and beat to it. Whatever. So Mars Volta's my number 6.
Okay.
What do you got for number 5?
Number 5, Tremulant EP. Their EP. Their first EP. The bridge. Mm-hmm. It's only 3 songs. There's not a whole lot to say here overall. It's a perfect bridge from At the Drive-In to Mars Volta. Yeah. And just a couple of years after, right? And a couple of years until Deloused. Like that's the time from relationship to Deloused. I mean, I guess we'll get into it when we talk about Deloused. But yeah, Tremulant is dope. Concertine is my favorite song. This song is seemingly so huge. It's so big. The big opening like lays down the framework, then steps back a little bit and lets the song essentially just fully breathe, find itself. Big bass lines, a shuffle beat throughout most of it, and like I don't know, it's this match like Astral Drive-In does into Mars Volta, like this march thing that they go from one end to the other straight into the fire. It's fucking cool. I don't know. There's not a whole lot to say about Tremulant. It's just fucking dope.
No, it's 3 songs. Yeah.
Cut the City. Cut That City. That's my. I guess it's the least favorite song on this 3-song EP. It's still perfect. It's 2 minutes of oddball, just dub silence shit that shows us like what the Mars Volta is going to be. Like here's what to expect now that we're not at the drive-in anymore. We're wild. We're unpredictable. Cedric still does the shouty at the drive-in kind of vocal thing, but he also
very
sings.
At the drive-in. It's very.
He
at
also
the drive-in.
sings. Yeah, he's very at the drive-in, but he's also singing, right? So it's like the perfect transition song between the two bands. Tremulant, it's good. Not a whole lot going on, but it's good.
It's okay. All right, so my number 5.
I have all these in the vinyls now, except for Ambitexture. But I will get them in the vinyls.
But you're going to get... Yeah, okay. Got it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so my number 5, Bedlam and Goliath. 4th record from 2008. The first record with new drummer Thomas Pridgen, 24-year-old dude, man. First album with him on it, and also the last with Adrian Terrazas Gonzalez on woodwinds, and then Paul Hinojos on guitar. The last record that they were on was Bedlam and Goliath. This is their cursed album. This is the one we've like I said, we've done this on the podcast before. It's no longer available, but I'm not going to get too deep into it. But this is their cursed record. Yeah, this was the episode that friend of the pod Skip listened to that got him into the podcast, and now we're friends years later. Yeah, this is the episode. But anyway, yeah, this is a lot of unfortunate things were happening. The engineer had a nervous breakdown. Omar's studio got flooded in Brooklyn while they were recording it. They lost a bunch of files. Like it was just everything was just it was shit on this record.
And the Ouija board,
the Ouija board that was involved in it. We got to do Bedlam at some point again soon. So yeah, there's a lot of lore.
You like this record?
I love this record. What do you
rank 5? You think Tremulant's better than this?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Tremulant's better because there is. There is kind of a stinker on this record. There's no stinkers on Tremulant. There's no stinkers on Tremulant.
No time.
So yeah, this one is just bombastic. It's loud. It's out of fucking control because of Thomas Pridgen, and that's what Omar wanted. Because Omar is the dictator. He's the Hitler of the studio. He tells everybody what to do in the studio.
He's like the more like I don't know, Lawrence Welk. He directs people. He's the band leader.
He is the absolutely is the band leader. Yeah,
he's not a dictator.
He writes all these songs.
He's like, when we talk about No Effects and Fat Mike and Melvin's all mad. Like, would Mars Volta be anywhere without Omar?
Jokingly, no, of course not. Jokingly, people in the band would say that they called him Little Hitler because he's like 5'3", 5'4". He's a short guy, and anyway, and he was a menace in the studio. But anyway, Omar wanted to create an out of control record. And that's why they recruited Thomas Pridgen, who, in the end, could barely play John Theodore's drum parts from the first 3 records. He had a hard time playing those. So you go back and watch any of those videos, any of them, and he just kind of just ruins the John Theodore stuff. I'm not to say that Pridgen's a bad drummer because objectively he's incredible. He's a very different type of drummer, and he's incredible. And this record fits his style perfectly. Like, Omar and Pridgen's camaraderie musically on this is unmatched. It's perfect. It's truly, truly perfect. And there's a lot of ups and downs, just the loud, bombastic, fast stuff. And then you'll get Tourniquet Man, which is my stinker. You get something like Tourniquet Man, and you're like, what the fuck? Or you get Soothsayer. Like, it's just completely unexpected after you come off of Cavaletes or Albaros. Just crazy weird ass shit, and then you get Soothsayer and Tourniquet Man. Makes no sense.
Okay.
But anyway, I think Bedlam and Goliath is fantastic, and I do have this on vinyl, obviously, box set right here, and we just got to do this record again. We'll break it down at some point again. Maybe we'll have friend of the pod Skip. Who knows?
I know.
Banger though, Ileana. I don't know. I've never known how to pronounce that. But that is my favorite song on the record. I think the groove here is absolutely incredible. I think Omar's guitar playing is fantastic on this. This is the grooviest song on the entire record. So, There you go.
Okay.
Bedlam and Goliath is my number 5. What do you got for number 4?
I'll get there when I get there. You like that?
That should go on the no-no list because it means nothing.
I'll get there when I get there. Number 4 for me. And this was tough. My 4, 3, and 2 changed constantly. Even today, I changed it a little bit. But Ambitexture my number 4. Ambitexture's my number 4. All right, here we go. I like this record. I like this record. Last time, the only difference here was it was just ranked just below their self-titled record. I don't know why I did that, but I definitely don't agree with that. Now, I think it was just new at the time, and I don't remember that episode anyway, so who gives a fuck? This is a good precursor to Goliath, and it's a great follow-up to Francis. They're showing their ability to just be so eclectic on one record. Each song has its own personality and feel, but it never sounds out of place. It's also all over the place. I saw someone say online that this record sounds like King Crimson. It's either King Crimson on Red Bull or it's King Crimson taking a nap. I was like, damn. Like, it's still fucking King Crimson, right? Like the GOAT of Prague, right? It's still amazing. But yeah, that's true. The contrast overall in this record is wild. Like, the highs are so far from the fucking lows. And I like that. But the record does a lot overall. We get insane bass parts from like Juan, like in Baphomets. Omar has some like Jimmy Page Zeppelin style chops in the Viscera eyes. But there's also stuff that just doesn't need to be, or at least not so long. Magdalena, dude, does not need to be that long. I'm only doing a lot of negatives here because I have to defend why it's ranked so low, not higher up.
Okay.
Magdalena does not need to be that fucking long. It just doesn't. Ciervo Vulnerado. That it just seems like, what the fuck is this? It's a mess that doesn't really go anywhere. Right? Like, I don't know. It just doesn't go anywhere.
I get it. Okay.
That song specifically, I don't know. It's not my least favorite song, but it just doesn't go anywhere. But really, the record is void of any real singles like the first two. And I think it's just I say this in a very like respectful manner because I respect when bands do shit like this, but I think it's a fuck off to any casual listeners of the Mars Volta, and it rewards fans who just want weird proggy Mars Volta, and that's cool. That's cool. Tetra, like, dude, that song's such a fucking ridiculous banger. Tetra, and then also Mecha Ambitexture. But Tetra, like, it's just so cool where this song goes. I love its pacing. I love the fact that the later part is this subdued kind of like beautiful jam. But then like you don't realize it's the same song because it's really smooth. But then obviously they can't just keep it up for too long. And then let's get back into the wild shit, right? But it's so like it rewards you for sticking through this 10+ minute song. Vermicide, that was my least favorite song because I just don't like that Cedric shriek. I just don't fucking like it. I find it annoying.
I thought you were going to say Vicarious was going to be your stinker here.
Nah, dude, that Cedric part is just a lot of my complaints overall on the Mars Volta pretty much revolve around Cedric. A lot of my favorite parts revolve around Cedric, but a lot of my least favorite parts revolve around Cedric.
Okay.
Yeah, Ambitexture is good. This is a 2.5. I give it 2.5.
Good. It should be higher.
It was really enjoyable.
I'll accept it. I'm glad you're going to get it on vinyl again. Finally.
This is their proggiest fucking record they've ever done.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, so my number 4 is Tremulant EP, first EP, actually only EP, from 2002, and yeah, 3 songs like you mentioned. We've talked about most of it. Cut That City it's pretty much at the drive-in song. And then Concertina is that song is the perfect transition from At the Drive-In and to the Mars Volta. Like it's deloused light. That's what that song is. And then Eunuch Provocateur is just an absolute insane song, which is my favorite song on the record or on the EP. It's fast. It has such a driving groove because of John Theodore, the drummer, which we'll talk about him a lot on the Francis the Mute episode. But John Theodore just absolutely nails it on Eunuch. My stinker is Concertina because it's still a great song. I just had to pick a stinker.
Gotta pick a stinker.
And it's just it's Delouse Light. That's really the reason why it's my stinker. But yeah, Tremulant. This is the classic lineup of, or that's not the classic lineup because one should be in the classic lineup of the band. But first with John Theodore, and I'm stoked. Also the only EP that Ava Gardner played on, the first EP that she played on, then she played on the self-titled record in 22, and then the reimagined version of it in 23. But yeah, Tremulant, number 4 for me. Got it on vinyl, box set right here. So I want to bring up the box set.
Box set. You love that box set.
I paid enough for it. So what do you got for number 3?
Money though.
Wasn't okay.
You got like 15 records.
I did get it. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Like price per record, like the PPR. It's not that much money. Like the PPR.
Is that something you just made up, or is that like a
literally
okay.
right now? I just made that up
because it does sound like something like in the vinyl community. It sounds like something pretentious in the vinyl community.
Maybe somebody, but I just thought of that right now. But again, the PPR is solid. It's not that much.
You pulled it off like it was legit. So, and that's irritating. So what do you got for number 3?
Number 3. This is one that I changed today. This was number 4. And Epitexture was number 3. But then I changed it today. Delouse is my number 3. Delouse.
You're an idiot.
Delouse.
Bedlam is as high as it is.
Delouse. Yeah, Delouse was my number 4. But then I listened to this again today at my shop. It was slow, a little gloomy today, so I put it kind of loud. They were doing the construction next door. It's like, yeah, fuck it. I'll put it pretty like obnoxiously loud. And nobody came in throughout the entire time, so it was a slow day. And I was like, yeah, cool, fuck it, whatever. Nice. But it's hard not to love this record, right? Like it came out a couple years after Relationship, and in an era of prog that was sort of niche and not very mainstream, like Spock and Porcupine Tree were the dorky prog kids like that kind of shit, and like Dream Theater was doing stuff for the metal kids, and like any band that was already doing prog up until this point is just doing prog past their prime, and like, who gives a fuck? Except Tool, everyone. Tool's greatest, so don't touch them. They're the best. Don't worry, Tool's the best. Fucking psych.
Wrong.
But then this came in. This came in like a fucking storm. They even got Storm to do the cover art from fucking Hypnosis. Like. It's just, this is wild, dude. This like literally took the prog world by storm, and in true Rick Rubin fashion, take something already great, slap your name on it, and pretend you did it, right? Frusciante's here, Flea's here, like big name engineers are working with this. This is wild. This is insane. Everything about this was a prog record that didn't sound like anything else in the mainstream. But like that's where the problem lies. That's why it's not my 1 or 2. And I love these records. Like now we're at like 2.8 territory, right? Like 2.9. Okay. I don't give a fuck. Who cares? Spoilers. So I have to pick apart something that I don't like about this. What I don't like about this is it sounds like a Rick Rubin record. It sounds too perfect. It sounds too polished.
You and Skip, friend of the pod, Skip, man. Your guys' hatred towards Rick Rubin is so stupid.
It's not I think he's a fantastic producer. He's amazing.
All you do is bitch about Rick Rubin. That's all you do is bitch about him.
Because he's not this historical figure that we should idolize.
He's still a great producer.
He's a fucking guy.
Producer.
Albini's better than him.
Great. Oh, agree. Albini is, but
there's so many people that are better than fucking Rick Rubin. Rick Rubin it just
the albums. But the albums associated to Rubin are better records generally than the ones associated with Albini.
Because he got fucking lucky early on with Def Jam. Dude. He got lucky signing the Beastie Boys early on. Now all he does is like, oh, that band's good. Let me do their next one. Or, oh, that EP's fucking good. Oh, Rage Against the Machine sounds dope. Let me do their records. Like he just slaps
System of a Down. Let's do.
He just slaps himself on any fucking thing that's already good. You know,
and he's still and the product still ends up being great.
It's like Domino's buying Round Table and then pretending like Round Table was great all along because it was Domino's brand. Like, no, they was already great before you bought them, dude. Like it's cool. You're still doing it, but they were already great before you. They would have been great without you.
So but even then, don't discredit Rubin on that one, because look at somebody like Brendan O'Brien, like truly one of the great producers. Like especially modern producers.
I think Ross Robinson's a better producer than fucking Rick Rubin.
And Ross Robinson's another. Yeah, and Ross Robinson is another example. It's like, okay, so a band was successful prior, and then Brendan O'Brien does a record with them. Does that reduce like a band that was popular or
No.
that was going to blow up, then
people don't talk about those producers the way they talk about Rick Rubin,
which I agree with. Yes,
and even your boy Corey Taylor, he backtracked a little bit later on, but even your boy Corey Taylor's
a cuck.
Corey Taylor's like, dude, Rick Rubin's fucking a show, dude. He did nothing. Why the fuck did you even hire him? We paid him a bunch of money to do nothing. He's like, well, actually, I'm sorry about that. But anyway,
Corey Taylor's a cuck. That's a bad example.
DeLouse literally took the prog world by storm. This was wild stuff in the early 2000s, and even still today. I mean, prog is still kind of made a bigger comeback. There's a lot of bands that are doing prog now, and like BT Bam, we both love BT Bam a lot, but BT Bam, right? Like nobody fucking knows who they are. Like they're not in the mainstream. The big bands in the mainstream are like Tool and Dream Theater and a couple of older guards. But this is wild. This was melodic. This was fun. This was easy to get into. I think the first 15 minutes of this is absolute perfection. Would not change a goddamn thing. Like the first 4 tracks, right? I guess the Inertiatic and this what's that part of Inertiatic?
Sonnet Lumiere.
Yeah. Lumiere. Like the candlestick from Beating the Beast. Like obviously those two songs go together. And that's why it's hard to do like a top 10, because that should be one song, but on Spotify and everything else is 2 songs. Anyway, Roulette Dares, that was my favorite one this time around. I tried not to pick the same favorite song this time around. Mm-hmm. So Roulette Dares was this one. This was cool because we got a lot of different Cedric vocals here, and I thought it all fucking worked. And this song just shuffles, dude. This song shuffles, and for whatever reason this week I just picked up a lot of the shuffle beats, everything that's going on, all those quick little rolls. God, I love
John Theodore.
So it's so
God,
good.
That's why John Theodore is my favorite drummer of all time. Like John Theodore,
good,
just kind of unmatched. I think so.
And it's never like. It never sounds like he can never do it live, right? It always sounds precise. It sounds calculated. It sounds like, damn, dude, you're really good at doing that thing. But then he does everything else that you could possibly want a drummer to do. But my favorite thing this week was just the shuffling, and then Cicatriz ESP. I don't know why I thought maybe they could shave a couple seconds off of this, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's that break in Cicatriz, like minute and a half, 2 minutes, where it's just noise, and I get it, cutting some of that out. All right, so my number 3 is also Deloused in the Comatorium. Probably mispronouncing it, but whatever. Rick Rubin co-produced with Omar. Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers played bass because Ava Gardner had left the band, so a couple other guys, Ralph Jasso, and a couple other people had played bass briefly live. And Cedric has come out and said after the record came out that he didn't really enjoy working with Rick Rubin because Rick Rubin focuses a lot on vocals and melodies. That's where his strong point is, and that's where his complaint was with Rick Rubin. But honestly, Cedric is just being a contrarian. He's just being a pretentious little bitch about it. Yeah, that's the Mars Volta. That's what Omar and Cedric have done.
But it's not just the Mars Volta.
Day.
Like so many artists come out and say, like, damn, working with it was kind of dumb.
In the context of this record, yes, that's what it. And Cedric is being a little bit. He even said, like, in that same interview about Rubin, he's like, yeah, Rubin wanted me to do it this one way, make it more vocal heavy and all this, and I wanted to do. That's not punk rock. That's not what I want to do. The opposite of what people want. You know, it's just like, come on, man. You're not even that young anymore. You're like, I think at this time he's mid-20s, late 20s at this point when this record came out. It's like, just come on, okay. But anyway, I love this record to death. One great thing that I love about this record, which I would attribute to Rick Rubin being a part of, is the fact that every song has its own identity. The whole record flows perfectly. Sequencing, all that is perfect. But you could take every single song from this record and put it on a playlist. Outside of Inertiatic, because it's connected with Sonnet. But even still, just Inertiatic, you could put that in a playlist. You can put fucking Televators. You could put Serpentax into a playlist by itself, and it's fine. It's going to flow because it's one whole song condensed into 4 to 8 minutes. But you can't do it with Francis. You can't do it with Ambitexture. You could barely do it with Bedlam. And that's one thing that I do love about Deloused is that it's a more concise record. So I really do love this record. This is what got me into the Mars Volta, which I'll get into in the main episode. And yeah, also the guy who was on this record, Jeremy Ward, he died shortly after the making of the record while they were touring with Red Hot Chili Peppers. He died of a heroin overdose, and there's all this kind of shit. But we get into this record a lot deeper. What was it? In 2021, we did this record on the podcast. Me, you, and friend of the pod, Skip, from England. We did this record, and we did like a 2-hour episode just on this record, just breaking it down. It was a great episode. So, yeah, so go check that out. It's still available. It's on Spotify. It's not a video podcast. It's audio only. But, yeah, go check it out. So, banger off of this one, Deloused, Areotarca. My banger can change depending on the day, but I fucking love this song. I love the dynamics of this song. John Theodore is just amazing. So amazing. I did want to say about John Theodore. You're talking about the shuffle, because he's incredible at it. One thing with that, and his playing in general, he can do everything live perfect or better than what he does on record. Not only that, you made fun of me last week for listening to that band Golden on vinyl. He was the drummer in Golden. John Theodore was. And that's why I was listening to him on vinyl, and I got the vinyl on Apollo Stars on vinyl a few years ago. But I was listening to him, you're like, oh, you have like trash. You have a trash vinyl collection. You made some snide remark. I'm like, you've never even listened to this record. And if you listen to it, you'll understand why. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You made a very snide remark about me listening to Golden, but it's like John Theodore in Golden was fucking incredible. Just incredible. So
We'll see about that.
Yeah, go check out that band too. He did like 3 or 4 of their full-length records, did a couple EPs with them before he was even in the Mars Volta. This is like late 90s, early 2000s. Go check out Golden. So, Deloused in the Comatorium, my number 3. What do you got for number 2? Go.
Should I say Francis or should I say Bedlam?
Just say Bedlam, even though you're wrong. Either way.
It is Bedlam, though. It is Bedlam.
Okay, good. Thank God.
Dude, the album explodes right off the bat. They've never done an explosion. Like, it explodes so fast that I think you hear him go, and then just start singing. Like, I think you hear that breath being taken in the first, like, quarter second of this song. Every one of their albums nothing ever starts like this. And it never lets up. It's just updated, like, drum-driven tribal blast of an album. Some fucking, like, dope parts, like the clarinet part and, like, clavettes. Like, actually, Adrian does a lot of really cool shit throughout this record on various instruments. We get a lot of Crimson, too, throughout, like, the Mars Volta career, but, like, none more so than Goliath, right? This is a cool love letter to Crimson's 21st century. Like, although Amputecture is more Crimson-like overall because, again, it's their proggiest shit they've ever fucking done. But there's also like some comparisons to Maggot Brain in this record. The psych funk like kind of shit they kind of bring through into their prog music. This record, I don't know, this record got them back to the huge concept records they did before Amputecture. It's got story, it's got lore, it's got the whole package, right? Plus the bonus songs, Mr. Muggs, the B-sides were dope. This record just
a lot of cool B-sides.
It has it all. Like, this record is the entire package. It's my favorite cover art of anything they've ever done. I fucking love this.
Oh, wow.
It's just so, I don't know. I like desert kind of fucking themes, even though I hate living here. I like desert kind of themes and like Egyptian looking fucking things. I don't know. Yeah, Bedlam is just wild, dude. It's wild. It's loud. It's bombastic. It's drum driven. It's just loud. It's loud and it's obnoxious, and I fucking love it. I still love it. And I tried hard. And Amputecture I tried really hard with. I tried, like, okay, let me see if I can put Amputecture above this record. Deloused. I was like, nah, I can't do it. How about Bedlam? I can't do it. Obviously, Francis, I couldn't do it either. But I really tried with Amputecture to put it above these. But I really, really do fucking love this record so goddamn much. Agadez, that was my favorite one. The groove that gets... Dude, the groove that gets going halfway through this is unmatched. It's bass driven. It is fucking wild. Omar is loud. He's wild, but also kind of has this like Italian mandolin kind of sound because of how high he is on the fretboard. Like the that kind of thing. And then Pridgeon just rips it up, dude. Smashes the cymbals every chance he can just to create this entirely washed out sound that blends with the sound or the song in its entirety. It's perfect. And then the song after it, Askepiod, whatever that song is. I thought it was just like, damn, bro. Like after how much I love Agedes, this is like whatever's. And what really gets me is like Cedric's super high squeal vocals, man. Like that's it. But like I loved Omar's playing here. I love the sound direction. Dude, very fantastical. Also, I agree. Soothsayer, I don't think is all that compelling. I think that's a little bit overrated of the song. But Bedlam is wild, dude. And like when I want to hear kind of like proggy music, like I don't care too much about like the instrumentation as a whole. I just want it to be explosive. I want it to be explosive. I want it to wow me. I want parts that go from one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum, which I know Ambitexture does and does better than kind of anything they've ever done. But this is explosive. This is like a bomb that goes off right from the beginning, right from the get-go.
It is. Yeah, no, it's an outrageous record. There's nothing that sounds like the Bedlam and Goliath. That record is so unique and it stands on its own. But I just don't think it's as high. I don't think it's as high. It should sit as high as you put it. But, you know, what are we going to do?
I don't make the rules. I know you don't.
Clearly you don't. Okay, so my number 2 is the album of the week, Francis the Mute. So I know your number 1 is Francis. So we'll get into that on the main episode. We're gonna break that down musically, lyrically. We have so many notes on this one. You know, we time-stamped songs. We're gonna get deep into Francis the Mute. So my number 1 is Ambitexture. This is my favorite Mars Volta record. Some fans at the time called it like the autistic child of the Mars Volta. It's wild. It came out in 2006. The last with John Theodore on drums. He never got to play these songs live. He was fired from the band right after they recorded the album before they toured it. The first with Marcel, Omar's brother, on percussion and other things, and first with Paul Hinojos, who was also At the Drive-In, but he played guitar here in this band and on this record. John Frusciante played most of the guitars on this record, outside of Asilos Magdalena. Omar played guitar on that, but John Frusciante played guitar on everything else on the record, per the guidance of Omar. Like Omar wrote the parts, but he had Frusciante play it because Frusciante's a better guitar player. We all know this,
of course.
But by the direction of Omar. And this is also part of the Amsterdam series of Omar's writing career. People who are into Omar's stuff. He lived in Amsterdam for a couple years, and he wrote and recorded a lot of records while he was living there in Amsterdam. One of them being Apocalypse Inside of an Orange, which is one of my favorite solo records of his. Incredible. If you like Ambitexture, you're going to like that solo record. It's all instrumental. It's incredible. Got it on vinyl. Also did a few other ones, but yeah, Ambitexture was the big one to come out of it because it became a Mars Volta record. And I agree with everything that you said. I'm giving so much background because I agree with so much of what you said about this record. It is the most King Crimson of the record, which arguably are the kings of prog music.
They've got to be the kings of prog music.
Yeah, King Crimson really is. They are. But yeah, it's spastic. It's out of control. The songs are long. Every song, there's no short song on this record. But everything flows really well up and down, like Tetra. It's like a 22-minute song, something like that. But it never gets dull. It never gets bad. And it just, the way these songs just bleed into each other. And I would love to do a deep dive on this record. I don't want to get too deep on it right now because we're already so deep into this episode. But yeah, Ambitexture is truly something special that I think people need to give more of a shot at. Too. I think the production and the mix of it is kind of shoddy. I think it was very rushed. This is also a record where they come off of Francis the Mute, and I think Omar just wanted to push out something so quickly, and there wasn't a lot of time put into the specifics or the details of the record. So it lacks in production. It lacks in the mix. But if you can listen to this record, especially because John Theodore is my favorite drummer ever, if you can listen to this record and just listen to John's parts, There's a reason why they didn't play a lot of songs from this record after the fact. Blake Fleming, who replaced John for a few months after he was fired, couldn't really pull off the parts in here. And Blake Fleming is an incredible fucking drummer. Like, Blake Fleming is incredible, but he couldn't quite do what John Theodore was doing. DeAnthony Parks didn't play that much off of it because he also replaced Blake eventually. Didn't do it that great. And then Thomas Pridgeon, like I mentioned, just sucked. Like, playing any of John Theodore's parts did not do it well. And then Dave Elitch DeAnthony replaced him. Dave Elitch replaced him. Dave never played any songs from this record outside of Viscera Eyes. And then yeah, we have the new guys. And yeah, these are songs that they're never really played. They were never really played. Or played well, I should say. So anyway, go back, listen to John Theodore's drumming. It's truly incredible. It's going to blow you away if you could just focus on his drumming. And just the song structures are out of control, proggy, crazy, weird, fucked up shit. So I think Ambitexture is just so unique in itself. I love it. Banger, Day of the Baphomets. This is my favorite Mars Volta song. This is one of my favorite songs of all time. I think this might go down as like a top 5 favorite song for me out of any band.
All time?
All time. Day of the Baphomets is is a top 5 song for me of all time. I think it's just the build in this song. Come on, man. Are you joking my ass? This song is perfection. Everything about this is
it's crazy to say like something is your favorite of all time. We've been on this earth almost 40 years now, and there are things that hold such strong, like, nostalgic bonds, like things that are foundational to our experience.
This is past nostalgia. Day of the Baphomets is past nostalgia.
Okay.
If you listen to this song, I mean, every single part of this song just takes you to a different place, man. This song is truly something special and something different. Like, this is one of the greatest prog song they've ever put out. This is better than Cassandra. I don't give a fuck. This is a better prog song than Cassandra, and Cassandra is amazing and beautiful.
But you sit there on like a fucking like a rocket ship that's going down and speeding towards Earth, like you're dying, right? And you want to be comforted, and you want something just to like what do you want to put on? Put on Day of the Baphomets.
Oh, that'd be so sick if you're crashing to Earth and you have Day of the Baphomets on. Can you imagine?
It's funny.
Imagine
it's
that
funny
in a movie.
on the surface.
Imagine that in a movie.
But in actuality, you're crying, you're freaking out.
So you're not going to listen to music? Get the fuck out of here.
But okay, Day of the Baphomets. Yeah, put it on. Sure. Okay.
Yeah. I would put
top
it on.
5 favorite.
Well,
song,
actually,
okay.
if I was plummeting to Earth and knowing that I'm going to die, I'm going to put on "Got the Life" by Korn. I mean, we all know this. We all know this.
Oh my god, dude!
You got to put on what you like.
I tried so hard not to even like laugh or smile, but I was bursting my head open.
All right. Anyway, I love Ambitexture so much. I really, really, truly love this record. One of my favorite records of all time. Top 10 record of all time for me. So there you go. That's all we have for the rankings for this episode. Thank you all for listening. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Give us 5 stars. 5 stars if you're watching on YouTube. You smash that subscribe button. And we are going to get into Francis the Mute. We're going to get to the music, lyrics, how it was made, and really everything in between because there's a lot to get into. So listen to that. This is going to be maybe the biggest episode we've ever done on this entire podcast in 10 years. 10 years. This might be the biggest one. So go check it out. And that's it. That's all.
That's all.